Imagine a world where everything changed because of things that were almost too small to notice. Before we dive into how these tiny shifts can rebuild your entire life, hit subscribe so you never miss an update. I tested 17 boring habits that quietly transformed my world without a single 5 a.m. alarm. The secret to all of them is that they are embarrassingly easy and way too small to fail. If you only have time for 2, pay close attention to habits number 1 and number 5. Those are the specific ones that make every other habit on this list actually stick. Habit 1 is all about starting with the embarrassingly easy version of any goal. I used to set massive targets like working out for an hour every single day. I would crush it for 3 days, get exhausted, and then quit for weeks. Does that cycle sound familiar to you? The problem was that I thought the goal was the workout itself. It's actually about becoming the type of person who works out through repetition. So I flipped the script and committed to doing just 10 push-ups. Some days that led to a full gym session, but other days it was just those 10. I never went to 0, and that is how I finally became a person who exercises. Habit 2 is drinking water before I allow myself to have any other drink. If I want coffee or a soda, I have to finish a glass of water first. I started this because I was tired of daily headaches caused by chronic dehydration. The weirdest part is that half the time I don't even want the soda anymore. My body was just confusing thirst for a craving, and I accidentally lost 10 pounds. My brain can't argue with 2 sips of water, so the system actually works. Habit 3 involves putting my phone in a completely different room while I sleep. Even if your phone is face down, your brain stays alert, waiting for it to buzz. Researchers call this anticipatory anxiety, and it was making me feel like absolute garbage. Moving the phone away improved my sleep more than any fancy gadget ever could. Habit 4 is deciding on my one hard thing for tomorrow before I go to bed. Most people waste their sharpest morning energy just trying to decide what to work on. I front-load that decision when my brain is already tired at night. Then, when I wake up, I just execute without any of the usual mental friction. Deciding is the exhausting part, but doing is easy when the choice is already made. Habit 5 is tracking my core habits using a simple 3-color system. Green is for a full habit, yellow is for the easy version, and red is 0. The goal isn't perfection, it's just avoiding that red mark at all costs. Yellow is still a win because it keeps your momentum alive and your streak going. This tracker takes 5 seconds a night and is part of my annual operating system. You can find the links in the description if you want to use it too. Habit 6 is keeping a done list instead of just a standard to-do list. Our brains have a negativity bias that makes us focus only on what we missed. Writing down what I actually finished changes how I see my entire day. Habit 7 is eating the same simple breakfast almost every single morning. I rotate between eggs and toast or oatmeal to remove one more daily decision. This manages my decision fatigue by making the choice too boring to think about. Habit 8 is saying no to one thing every week that I'd usually say yes to. I used to overcommit to everything, but now I practice one small refusal weekly. Those 52 small no's per year reclaim dozens of hours of my personal time. Habit 9 is taking a 10-minute walk immediately after I eat lunch. This isn't for exercise, it's purely to regulate glucose and stop the afternoon slump. Walking right after a meal smooths out blood sugar spikes so you stay energized. Habit 10 is reading at least 10 pages of a book every single day. That adds up to 18 books a year with almost no intense mental effort. I started with just 1 page because you become a reader by never having 0 days. Habit 11 is sending one thinking of you message to a friend every week. Relationships don't usually end in explosions. They just die from slow, quiet neglect. One simple text with no agenda keeps my oldest connections alive and healthy. Habit 12 is a 20-minute weekly review every Sunday to check my progress. I look at my habit tracker and decide if next week is for growth or survival. If things feel too hard, I make the easy version of the habit even easier. Habit 13 is writing 3 short sentences in my tracker before I go to sleep. I record what worked, what didn't, and exactly how I felt during the day. This 60-second journaling habit reveals patterns that I would never have noticed otherwise. Habit 14 is automating a percentage of my income to an investment account. The money moves the moment my paycheck hits, before I can even see it. It is the best financial decision I ever made because it requires 0 discipline. Habit 15 is closing every single browser tab at the end of the day. Open tabs are open loops that weigh on your brain even when you are offline. Closing them creates psychological closure so you can start tomorrow with a clean slate. Habit 16 is a 2-minute tidy of my space before I head to bed. I just put one thing back or clear one surface so I don't face yesterday's mess. It isn't about being a clean freak. It's about how the next morning feels. Habit 17 is ending my workday before I am completely drained of energy. If you stop while you still have momentum, you don't have to rebuild it tomorrow. You come back energized because you already know exactly where to pick up. Those are the 17 boring habits that quietly rebuilt my entire life. The trick is to just pick 3 to 5 that you can actually sustain.